Funeral services for Pope Francis are announced as the world mourns his death and the Vatican prepares for the election of his successor. We have the latest.
I'm Courtney Kim, live on the Chapman campus. International students have had their visas revoked by the Trump administration. I'll tell you what's next for them coming up.
I have gone through Title IX, and it was one of the most traumatizing experiences that I've ever had.
April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and some students at Chapman are calling for more support for survivors. We'll explain.
And paying tribute to a beloved coach, we'll remember Chapman track and field coach Greg Stoll, who has passed away unexpectedly. That story plus weather and sports just ahead on Chapman News.
From Dodge College of Film and Media Arts, this is Chapman News.
Thank you for joining us today for Chapman News. I'm Grace Song.
And I'm Yasmine Bari. Our top story today, worldwide tributes to Pope Francis continue as the Catholic Church prepares to select his successor. Funeral services for Pope Francis are now set for this Saturday. Francis, an Argentinian who was the first pope from the Americas, died yesterday at the age of 88. He was known for his progressive approach, including his personal acceptance of the LGBTQ community, which was in conflict with official church teachings. The Vatican says he died after suffering a stroke just one day after making his final public appearance on Easter Sunday. Here in OC, the Orange Diocese issued this statement. Quote, "With heavy yet prayerful hearts, we mourn the passing of our beloved Holy Father, Pope Francis. In this moment of great loss, we give thanks for the life of a shepherd who embodied the gospel with humility, mercy, and an unwavering faith in God's boundless love." A conclave to elect the next pope will begin shortly after Francis's funeral. The church's cardinals are already traveling to Vatican City for their closed-door conclave, where they will decide who will be the next church leader. They vote by secret ballot until one of them receives a 2/3 majority vote. In 2013, Pope Francis was elected by 108 electors, 20 from countries which have never had a cardinal in the conclave before. After each time the cardinals vote, they burn the ballots. Black smoke indicates they have not selected a successor, while white smoke signals a new pope has been elected.
More than 1,000 international students at universities across the country have had their visas revoked by the Trump administration.
Students here at Chapman University are among those impacted. Chapman News reporter Courtney Kim joins us live with more. Courtney?
Thanks, Grace and Yasmine. Many of the students at universities across the country who had their visas revoked were not given a reason and had no legal issues other than minor traffic violations. But Secretary of State Marco Rubio has cited participating in campus protests on the war in Gaza is a concern for the Trump administration.
We gave you a visa to come and study and get a degree, not to become a social activist that tears up our university campuses. And if we've given you a visa and then you decide to do that, we're going to take it away.
At Chapman, Acting Provost Glenn Pfeiffer confirms that 2 students, one undergraduate, one graduate student in pharmacy, and also one postdoctorate doing research at Chapman, have had their visas revoked without any explanation. As you just heard, Rubio has said visas are being pulled in response to campus protest involvement. Pfeiffer says there is no evidence that this applies to the Chapman students. Responding to questions submitted by Chapman News via email, Pfeiffer says the university is working to help the students finish the current semester, which only has 4 weeks remaining, although one student may be forced to withdraw. He says the university wants to support the students but has limited options. He said, quote, "Chapman cannot provide legal support. We've advised students to seek immigration attorneys while working to reduce disruption to their academics." Meanwhile, in Colorado and Michigan, international students who had their visas revoked are suing the Trump administration for violating their due process rights. Last Friday, a federal judge granted a temporary restraining order blocking the deportation of 133 international students who filed a lawsuit against the U.S. government. That lawsuit could determine the future for hundreds of international students. And as the story continues to unfold, Chapman officials say they're forced to keep academic disruption to a minimum. Yasmine and Grace?
Thank you, Courtney. So when does this case go to court?
This case goes to court Thursday. Until then, the students who filed the lawsuit have had their legal status reinstated.
Besides Chapman, how is this affecting other schools in California?
Well, Grace, nearly 100 students on UC's and Cal State campuses and private universities, including Chapman and Stanford, have had their visas revoked. It's unclear if any more visas will be canceled as of now.
Courtney, thank you so much for the updates. There is speculation about the future of Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth today. This comes after news that Hegseth once again shared sensitive information in a private group chat. That chat reportedly included information about military strikes in Yemen and has shared with his brother, wife, and personal lawyer. Hegseth claims that the information was not classified and thus was not a security risk.
Was informal, unclassified coordinations for media coordination and other things. That's what I've said from the beginning.
The White House press secretary told the media this morning President Trump still has confidence in Hegseth and he will continue to serve as Secretary of Defense.
The president absolutely has confidence in Secretary Hegseth. I spoke to him about it this morning and he stands strongly behind him.
Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is today calling for a complete reorganization of the State Department. In a statement released earlier today, Rubio says he wants to restructure the department to better align with the Trump administration's policies, calling the State Department, quote, bloated, bureaucratic, and unable to perform its essential diplomatic mission in its current form. Senior State Department officials say Rubio's plan will cut 700 jobs at the department's headquarters in D.C.
The National Weather Service is a federal agency that alerts people to severe weather in their communities. Those alerts are usually provided in multiple languages, including Spanish, Chinese, and Vietnamese. But now the Weather Service says the alerts will only be in English. That's because the agency's contract with the AI company that provided the translations has expired. Critics say not issuing the severe weather alerts in multiple languages could place non-English speakers at risk, but the NWS says it simply doesn't have the funding.
California is stepping up its fight against President Trump's tariffs. Governor Gavin Newsom and Attorney General Rob Bonta filed a lawsuit last week maintaining that the president's tariffs are unlawful. Newsom says Trump's tariffs will be a major blow to California.
Is poised to lose more than the state of California. So that's our state of mind. And that's why we're asserting ourselves on behalf of 40 million Americans.
As we reported last week, Newsom is also asking California's major trade partners to exempt products made in the Golden State from reciprocal tariffs.
California is taking a new approach in the fight against opioids by lowering their price of a life-saving medication. Narcan quickly reverses the effects of an opioid overdose, restoring normal breathing in minutes. Through Governor Gavin Newsom's CalRx initiative, residents will be able to buy a twin pack of Narcan for $24. That is nearly half the typical pharmacy price. Last year, Newsom signed a bill that would require California workplaces to have Narcan and first aid kits.
Springtime is here and California drivers are seeing an uptick at the gas pump. Average gas prices per gallon here in California are now as much $1.50, more than the rest of the country. That's because of higher state taxes, environmental fees, and limited oil refineries. Also, oil companies like Valero and Chevron have moved their operations out of California. Oil refineries have scheduled closings that also increase prices at the pump. And unfortunately, prices are projected to increase for the incoming summer travel season.
Hundreds of families in Orange County relying on a housing voucher program will have to find other ways to pay rent. The federal government has discontinued its emergency housing voucher program. The vouchers were introduced during the COVID pandemic for people at risk of homelessness. The Orange County Housing Authority currently provides these vouchers to over 500 families. Without another source of funding, social services advocates say these households are at risk of homelessness once the vouchers run out next year.
2 high schools in Anaheim will be installing vaping detectors in the student bathrooms and locker rooms. In addition, that the district says will hopefully help prevent students from vaping on campus. Cypress and Laura High School are among the first high schools in Anaheim Union High School District to install roughly $75,000 worth of vaping detectors. They will serve as pilot schools and will determine whether or not vape detectors will be placed in other schools. Other OC districts have already installed vaping detectors in some schools, including Fullerton's Troy High School.
San Juan residents are speaking out against a proposed battery storage facility in Rancho Capistrano. In 2024, Saddleback Church sold a portion of its land to the company Energy Storage. They plan to build a large-scale battery storage system, but the proposal has sparked backlash from the community. Residents and local nonprofits have begun organizing, saying there are safety and environmental risks.
To put these facilities that are like bombs because they can explode, and to have them in neighborhoods.
Andrea Kelly Crean, granddaughter of the original landowners, launched a petition against the project, which has gained more than 3,000 signatures. Around the same time, the city placed a temporary ban on the development until next April, saying they need to develop further research into the project.
I'm Zachary Richter. If you're planning on going to the beach this weekend, make sure you put on sunscreen because this week's UV index will be high. More on that and your forecast coming up.
Advocates here at Chapman University are breaking the silence in order to help survivors of sexual assault. More on this story coming up.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking, now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Our Chapman community is working to provide support for survivors during Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Chapman News reporter Czerena Bayle has the story.
A movement with a message to end sexual violence has made its way back to Chapman University. Organized by the Chapman Group's Peer and CU Cares, Take Back the Night aims to break the silence and encourage dialogue about consent and community accountability. Dr. Danny Smith is hoping to end the stigma around sexual violence and coming out as a survivor.
I'm hoping that people will be encouraged to tell their story, not necessarily at Take Back the Night, but making a shirt for Clothesline Project, going over to counseling and finding someone who's trained to talk about it.
This event comes after recent calls for campus reform. A student-led petition lobbied for changes to the university's Title IX process for reporting sexual assault on campus. The petition called for students reporting sexual assaults to be assigned an advocate to help them through the process.
Because a lot of people that are navigating these situations are so confused, shocked. They probably don't even understand fully what happened to them legally or what they can do or what is fully right or wrong.
The petition gathered over 400 signatures. Organizers met with Colleen Wood, the university's Title IX coordinator. While Wood would not agree to the proposal to have advocates assigned to students, members of Chapman Women's Health are working with the Title IX office to create an infographic detailing where and how students can find campus support. They will also collaborate to update outdated information on the university's website. Student activists say that there is more work to be done here at the Chapman campus. However, Take Back the Night is a reminder that healing begins within the community. For more information, follow @CUCares on Instagram. This is Czerena Martinne Bayle reporting for Chapman News.
The Pride flag will continue to fly at Aliso Viejo City Hall. After a 5-hour debate, a proposal to ban the LGBTQ+ flag at City Hall was pulled. Councilmember Mike Munsing sponsored a resolution, which stated that city-owned flagpoles should only fly federal, state, and local flags. Ultimately, Munsing withdrew the resolution, and the council unanimously voted to pull it.
I will move to pull the resolution.
Second. Second.
A semi-private jet service has a new home at John Wayne Airport here in OC. JSX, formerly Jet Suite X, is a regional air service that says it offers a semi-private jet experience without the private jet price tag. Last month, they moved from their original home on the east side of the airport to the west side due to taxiway reconstruction projects happening this spring. They are now housed at 3000 Airway Avenue, on the opposite side of the airport from the main passenger terminal. Right now, the service is offering direct flights from John Wayne to 3 airports in California, as well as Dallas, Salt Lake City, Denver, Reno, Scottsdale, and Las Vegas.
The Trump administration's trade war and higher tariffs are raising concerns at local Asian markets around the country. From Oklahoma, reporter Isabel Flores has more on the story.
The Trump administration has implemented a 145% tariff increase on imports to China. But China has now implemented a 125% tariff increase on the U.S. Many Asian supermarkets ship a lot of their items from countries like China.
If the tariff start after this inventory, I'm pretty sure it's going to go up a lot.
Bong Sing is the owner of the OK Asian supermarket on Lewis Avenue. He imports items for his shop like sauces, noodles, and even kitchenware, all the way from China. He tells me that in order to stay afloat, he may have to increase prices.
To be able to open my store, I have to increase the price.
With the possible price increase he expects to pay on imports, he's scared it could affect business.
It will hit more harder to the buyer, the consumer. It will hurt more people, the people, you know.
I just want my food.
Glenda Enriquez is a regular customer at the OK Asian Market. She says her favorite thing to buy is the fish, but she's not too worried about the tariffs.
Prices everywhere increase. You go to Walmart, you see changes in some of the prices, groceries.
She tells me even if prices go up, she'll keep coming to OK Asian Mart because of the service and quality of food she gets.
I'll pay for it as long as I got what I want.
Singh tells me he'll know more about what steps he needs to take after his next inventory, depending on how prices change.
That was Isabel Flores reporting. Strawberry season is in full swing at One Irvine Farm, and it's all thanks to a little compost and lots of hard work. Tanaka Farms is experiencing one of its biggest strawberry harvests in years. The family-run farm has been growing produce in Irvine for 4 generations. This year, a new compost mix and favorable weather created an abundance of berries. Farmer Kenny Tanaka says it's all about finding the right balance.
We added compost to the troughs this year, and I think it really helped the bloom. We grew a couple different types of strawberries as well. So just the combination of timing, good weather, been really lucky this year. So we have a really good amount of strawberries this year.
In past years, Tanaka Farms had to cut back on their famous strawberry tours due to a lack of berries. This year, there's plenty for school tours, produce stands, and visitors looking to pick their own.
And everybody's getting a lot of strawberries, so everybody's been pretty happy.
The farm is open for strawberry tours, though through May, with new events planned each month.
Wow, I would definitely love to try some of those strawberries. They looked great, huh, Grace?
They look amazing. But if you're going outside, I think you want to bring some sunscreen. It seems to be getting warm. What's the weather looking like this week, Zach?
Right, Yasmine and Grace, those strawberries do look amazing, but here's a live look at our Dodge Marionette Studios camera. We see Angel Stadium, the Arctic, and Honda Center. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day out here in Orange. But now, taking a look at our national forecast, we see here in Seattle 61 degrees, San Francisco 62 degrees, a bit warmer in Las Vegas and Phoenix at around 90 degrees. Denver 73 degrees, Minneapolis with 70 degrees, Chicago 69 degrees, and we should see some showers there. Houston in 84 degrees. We also saw this last weekend, some tornadoes sweeping through the region in Missouri, Oklahoma, and parts of Texas, so we'll be keeping an eye out on those rebuilding efforts. Atlanta also has some severe weather alerts with some possible thunders and lightning storms coming that region. New York and DC around 80 degrees, and same thing in Miami. Now taking a look at our orange forecast, we see my hometown of Fullerton 69 degrees, and same thing in Orange, here in Orange, Westminster, Mission Viejo right around 66 and 68 degrees. Irvine, same thing, 66 degrees. Our beach cities, Newport Beach, Laguna Beach, San Clemente, all right around the 62 and 61 degree mark. Now taking a look at our 5-day Fenestra forecast, we see today, Tuesday, 69 degrees. We'll see these morning clouds and the sun start to peak in right around the afternoon mark. We see that same trend Wednesday and Friday. Thursday, we'll see some more clouds with around 68 degrees. And finally, Saturday, we'll see some partly cloudy skies with the high of 63. Now taking a look at our 5-day high UV index. So we see Tuesday 9 and Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday around 8. Same on Friday with around 9 on the UV index. So that the UV index is telling us like how much UV rays are coming, you know, and if we need to wear some sun protection. So we see here on the UV index, we see an 8 and a 9 is very high on the UV index. So if you're going out, going to the beach, trying to tan a little bit, you might want to put on some sunscreen just for some extra protection. Now taking a look at our current conditions here in Orange, we see 67 degrees and it should be nice and sunny out. That's all I have here for the weather. Back to you, Yasmine and Grace.
Thanks, Zach. Coming up, meet the Climate Chicken Sprout, a dynamic duo teaching kids how to care for the planet with music, emotions, and a whole lot of fun.
I'm Xavier Rose. From the Lakers playoff basketball to 2 legendary college players having their jerseys retired. Those stories and more coming up next.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers. He connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How was it? Is it good?
Planning is well underway for the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, and competition will take place at some of Southern California's most famous venues. SoFi Stadium will host the opening and closing ceremonies as well as swimming and other aquatic events. Olympic baseball will be played in iconic Dodger Stadium. Here in OC, volleyball will be played at Anaheim's Honda Center. Gymnastics and boxing events will take place at the Crypto.com Arena. The game of squash will make its Olympic debut in a unique location on the Universal Studios lot in Universal City. The UCLA campus will be the site of the Olympic Village where the athletes will stay. The 2028 Olympic Games will make history. It will be the first time no new venues will be built for the competition. Only existing venues are being used.
It's a great day to head out to the ballpark and cheer on the Angels in Anaheim.
Xavier Rose joins us now in studio with that and more sports news.
Thanks, Yasmine and Grace. This past weekend was busy for the world of sports. In baseball, the Angels kicked off a 3-game series at home against the Pirates starting tonight after a nail-biter on Sunday. It was the bottom of the ninth in Sunday's game with bases loaded and the Angels down by 4 runs. Mike Trout scored after Zach Neto was hit by a pitch. Joe Adele then hit a bases clearing double and secured the walk-off win for the Angels. Georgia Bulldogs head coach Kirby Smart is joining other top college football coaches who are sounding the alarm on new NIL sports deals, which are causing players to take full advantage of the transfer portal system. Smart recently lost his starting quarterback, Carson Betts, who transferred to Miami University, earning him $10 million for only 1 full season in NIL deals. Beck, who led the Bulldogs to win 2 championships, joins more than 4,000 athletes who entered the transfer portal at the end of the 2024 season. 2 Colorado Buffs football players had their jerseys retired. Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter and the team's quarterback Shadir Sanders will both be inducted into the Colorado Buff Hall of Fame. In just 2 seasons, Sanders threw for more than 7,000 passing yards. Hunter received more than 20 touchdowns in just 2 seasons. Both are declared for the NFL draft this coming weekend. The Los Angeles Lakers are taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight at 7 p.m. This is the first time since 2012 that the Lakers have hosted the playoffs on their home court. Back in 2020, because of COVID, LA won the championship playing back at the Disney World bubble in Orlando. This past Saturday, Minnesota won the first game of the best of the 7 series, 117-95. The Lakers are looking to even the matchup tonight. And we have some sad news, a major loss for Chapman Athletics. Greg Stoll, a Chapman track and field assistant coach, has passed away. Stoll was himself a state champion pole vaulter at UCLA. He joined Chapman only 2 years ago, and he coached pole vaulters here to the NCAA Division III championships. He was described as a wonderful mentor. Coach Stoll is survived by his wife and 3 children. The Chapman community sends its condolences, love to the Stoll family. What a weekend it was for sports. That's all for this week. I'm Xavier Rose. See you soon.
It's Earth Day, but did you also know that it's National Park Week? National parks across the country are hosting fun activities all week long. National Parks Week is a chance for people to get outside and embrace nature. It's also a time for National Park Service to promote their mission of preserving and protecting our country's natural treasures. At Joshua Tree National Park, Public Information Officer Megan Rockwell explained the importance of preserving our parks. National parks help to create emotional connections to the lands and stories of our culture. By continuing to preserve the parks, we can continue to connect a past, present, and future that we want to help sustain. If you take a trip this week to a national park, you can use the hashtag National Park Week on social media. If you want to find out more about the events this week, go to nps.gov. They're helping kids understand climate change, one song and story at a time.
Our feature reporter, Prinny Martinez, joins us live in studio to explain. Prinny?
Thanks, guys. On this Earth Day, we want to introduce you to some new characters, Climate Chick and Sprout, who are all about teaching kids about climate change and the importance of respecting the environment.
Content, and I was like, wow, this is a really big way to make change. Like, Kids media in the past has been like an amazing, amazing mechanism for change in the world. And I think that that's necessary for climate literacy too.
Of all the kids' programming that is produced for TV and streaming platforms, only 1% talks about climate change, and this new series is part of that small percent. Through music, science, and storytelling, Susie Hicks, the climate chick in Sprout, helps kids understand climate issues in a way that's fun and friendly.
There's an amazing resource called the Climate Emotions Wheel, which has all of these different words that help describe how you may be feeling about climate change at any given moment. And every episode, we deal with a different emotion. And they can start from overwhelm to inspiration to anger. We sit, we regulate our emotions, and then we learn that really the antidote to despair is action.
The show turns that knowledge into positive action, helping kids feel seen, heard, and capable of making a difference.
If you ever feel like what you're doing isn't enough, Earth Day is a great way to realize that you have way more power than you think you do. A, believe in yourself. B, solutions are everywhere. And C, this is a lyric from one of our songs, nothing's too heavy if we lift together.
Susie Hicks, the Climate Chick Sprout is currently streaming on YouTube at Susie and Sprout. You could also check them out on Instagram at VeryBigWorldENT. This is Prinny Martinez reporting for Chapman News.
Here in theaters, you'll be seeing a short film created by 2 Chapman students. Coming up, we'll tell you about their film. Coming up, one famous athlete hits a grand slam. He's officially become a father. More details coming up. Stay with us.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Good afternoon. I'm Natalie Ross. And I'm Samantha Thomas.
Good afternoon and welcome to Chapman News. I'm Steve.
Good afternoon. Welcome to this week's edition of Chapman News.
Since 2010, Chapman News has been covering weather, entertainment, sports, politics, and news, broadcasting from Dodge College's Marionette Studios.
As the only live newscast in Orange County, our journalists aim to highlight local, statewide, and national communities.
We're here to provide the most accurate, engaging, and relevant news for our community.
Tune in to our nationally recognized and award-winning newscast, Chapman News.
Watch locally on Channel 6 or on our YouTube to stay updated with the latest. Two restaurants in Southern California are finalists for a prestigious culinary award. The James Beard Award is one of the nation's top restaurant honors. It recognizes talent and achievement in the culinary arts. Strong Water in Anaheim, best known for their variety of cocktails, is a finalist for outstanding wine and other beverages. Gusto Bread in Long Beach, known for their Latin-inspired pastries and bread, is a finalist for outstanding bakery. Overall, 4 SoCal restaurants have been nominated for the award. Winners will be announced June 16th.
Congratulations are in order for 2 Chapman student filmmakers we first told you about last month. Seniors Aiko Lozar and Lexi Berganio's short film Ticket to Everywhere is the 2025 grand prize winner in the National Coca-Cola Refreshing Films competition. There are more than 700 entries. Lozar and Berganio are grateful for this experience.
That's what's cool about the Coca-Cola program. Like, they help you develop it into something that we were really proud of, because I think initially we didn't really like it.
But they showed us like the reasons why it worked. Like, it was simple, it was about the movie-going experience, it was about the Coca-Cola.
Ticket to Everywhere will now be shown in theaters nationwide in the previews leading up to feature attractions. It will also be available on YouTube. Lozar and Berganio have now set their sights on winning the Cinemark Fan Favorite Award. You can vote for them using the link below.
It's showtime, baby! Literally! Los Angeles Dodgers star player Shohei Ohtani welcomed his firstborn, a baby girl, this past weekend with his wife Momiko Tanaka. In an Instagram post, Ohtani says he's grateful for his child, his wife, and the Dodgers for their support. Within 24 hours, he was back in the dugout and won a game against the Rangers. His baby is just darling, and we're wishing them all the best.
That's right. Congratulations to Shohei and his wife on their first newborn. That's all for today's newscast. Tune in for more Chapman News next week.